Dear participants, I am here to talk on COVID 19, igniting revolution in the education. In India, 320 million students have been affected by COVID 19 and the school closures. And through the government quickly recommended shifting to online teaching. This ignores the India's immense digital divide with the embedded gender and class divides. So we need to think on what are the COVID 19 challenges in the education, impacts, the revolution in the education, and new learning approaches, and how the Industry 4.0 play the role in that. So, COVID 19 and the challenges in the education are focus on the digital divide, reorientation of the curriculum, make a powerful and a wider cadre of the teachers. So, focus on the digital divide is it comes under technology that has potential to achieve universal quality education and improve the learning outcomes. But in order to unleash its potential, the digital divide must be addressed. Digital capabilities, the required infrastructure, and the connectivity must reach the remotest and the poorest communities. Reorientation of the curriculum is also important. While the teachers are struggling to learn the digital ways of communicating with the students, it is clear that we need to pay close attention to what we teach. Our endeavors to educate the children has been guided by the question, who am I and what is my relationship with the universe and others in it? So, empowerment of the teachers is also important. The crisis is forcing the teachers to reinvent their roles from transferring the information to enabling the learning. This shift to distance learning has afforded many opportunities to teach differently and encouraging the self learning, providing the opportunities to learn from diverse resources and allowing the customized learning for diverse needs through the high tech and low tech resources. So, this is creating some of the impacts on the education system. I have mentioned some negative impacts here. Slow cross-border movement of the students. Universities in many countries such as Australia, UK, New Zealand, and Canada are highly dependent on the movement of the students from China to the India. It is becoming more and more clear that this cross-border movement of students will take a beating at least for next 2 or 3 years and will lead to major financial risk to the universities in these countries who are already under the financial pressure. Unpreparedness of the teachers for online education. That is one more point we need to discuss. So it means online learning is a special kind of methodology and not all the teachers are good at it, or at least none of them were ready for this sudden transition. So, from face to face learning to online learning. So, most of the teachers are just conducting the lectures on video platforms such as Zoom, which may not be the real online learning in the absence of dedicated online platform specially designed for this purpose. So, there is a risk such as situation. Learning outcomes may be poor or may be less achieved. Passive learning by the students. So the students shift to the online learning without planning. So especially in the countries like India, where the backbone for the online learning was not ready and the curriculum was not designed for such a purpose. It has created the risk of most of our students becoming passive learners and they seems to be losing interest due to the low level of attention span. Last, the changing format of the student recruitment also important. Universities and colleges worldwide are facing a major risk in the area of student recruitment and retention. So, Some of the positive impacts also we need to consider. So any change that is so disruptive is also likely to bring some of the new opportunities that will transform the higher education system worldwide, and especially in the country like India, which is planning to bring about a planned reform of this sector. Some of the key opportunities are mentioned here, like rise in the blended learning. Universities and the colleges will shift to model of blended learning, where both the face-to-face delivery along with the online model will become a norm, and this will require all the teachers to become more technology savvy, go through some training to bring themselves to the level that is required. Learning management system to be the new model means there is a great opportunity will open up for those companies that have been developing and strengthening the learning management system for use by university and colleges. Openness and transparency in the education. There is a great opportunity for the university and colleges to start improving the quality of learning material that is used in the teaching and learning process. Rise in the collaborative work. The teaching community, to a large extent, has very insulated and more. So, in a country like India, there is a new opportunity where collaborative teaching and learning may take a new form. So, after discussing these few positive and negative impacts, we have to think on how the education has evolved to education 1.0 to 4.0. 1.0 is a traditional way of education wherein the students they are passive recipients and the education is teacher centered approach. Technology is forbidden in the classroom. Teacher gives the knowledge and the teacher is the leader in the classroom. While there is a transition from 1.0 to 2.0, the communication and collaboration are starting to grow. The approach is changed to exam-based approach and memorization of knowledge is more important. Learning and learning outcomes, but they are still on paper. Invasion of the technology and the social networking is also important in education 2.0. We apply the technology to classroom as a trend indicator, but the class continues to have the same structure. So there is a need to change, and the education 3.0 started with a student-centered approach. The teacher is transformed into the coordinator and the facilitator. Flipped classrooms they are started using. Lesson plans are now called as a learning plans. The students they will give the knowledge to their teachers also. So there is no teacher training dependent students. Online learning is also started with the education 3.0 and now we are in the education 4.0. See, the education is anywhere, anytime. It is personalized. There is a flexibility delivery of the products. Peers and the mentors existing here. Why, where is not the problem. What and how it is to be done is the problem. Practical applications are more important. Projects and the modules, they are more important. Student ownership and evaluated and the students are not examined. So now education 4.0, we are in the education 4.0 wherein focus on the co-creation, flipped classrooms and interactive practical exercises. Learning is not restricted at a place. It can be anytime, anywhere. development of the personalized teaching and learning started. Learning plans are now changed to creativity plans. Faster growing of the technology is available. So technology is available in a less cost. So there is more use of the technology in education 4.0. So this education 4.0 gives rise to new learning approaches. So it is encouraging the accelerated remote learning. One of the method of doing is to encourage accelerated remote learning is the idea that the students will learn theoretical knowledge remotely using digital means. This is more flexible and it requires accountability and good time management. Also, this gives rise to project based learning, which highlights the importance of studying a wide set of skills that can be applied to each scenario and not sticking to a particular skill. Education 4.0 is a deeper fusion of the technology into teaching process. And now the focus is shifted from teaching to learning. So here comes the technology revolution that is more important to understand with the education 4.0. In 19 sorry in 1784 there was industry 1.0. It was started from 1784 and here water and steam powered machines were developed to aid workers. So production capabilities are increased. Business also grew from individual cottage owners taking care of their own and maybe their neighbors. But in the 1870, Industry 2.0 started, where the first production line, mass production using the electrical energy, was used. While in the Industry 3.0, first programmable logic controller PLCs, use of electronics and IT for further automation. So automated product development started from Industry 3.0 onwards. And next comes the Industry 4.0 is the current revolution of the industry. Here it is based on the cyber physical system. All the technology revolution is started with the 3.0 and now we are currently in the Industry 4.0 where there are real-time projects with the information processing, virtual objects via internet. Then there is a big data, there is machine learning, AI, data science, all the technologies they are started in the industry 4.0. To this industry 4.0, it will give some solutions to this COVID-19 pandemic. So now I need to focus on some of the technologies and how these technologies they are useful in some of the applications related to COVID-19. So artificial intelligence, it is a powerful tool which can be very useful against the pandemic COVID-19 regarding the assessment of the risk of infection and screening of population. So it is also useful in the social media analysis wherein nowadays there are many fake news on the social media. So to analyze this fake news, the AI can be useful. The clinical trials for drugs and vaccine against this virus can also be done. To develop the robots which can help undertake the sanitization jobs and to perform an online medical examination of the people. That is useful. CT scans for detecting the pneumonia caused by the virus. AI can play the role. Next, the Internet of Things. Collection of data. is done with the help of sensors. And the sensors, they are present either in the mobile phones or the robots. These are responsible for collection of the data that is sent for analytic purpose and decision making also. Then it can be sent over the cloud. To this manuf- useful in the manufacturing of the equipment required for the healthcare system. Drones, which are required for surveillance purpose. Patients who violate the quarantine rules can be tracked by such a technology. Remote monitoring of home patients can also be done by such a technology. Then the big data. As you know, the data is large. It was earlier local data, but now the data is a global data. It is large amount of data that is stored on the cloud. This technology provides basis for the faster and most real-time evaluation and decision making. So in case of COVID-19, we can use big data for analyzing and forecasting the reach and impact of the coronavirus on the people. It can be useful to collect almost all the real-time data from the resources around the world and subsequently equip the scientists, doctors, and epidemiologists and policymakers with the latest information. Also, the virtual reality is also important. It is useful in video games, 3D games, educational trainings, medical trainings, military trainings. So, in case of COVID-19, it can be useful so by having its ability to make the people feel like they are together in the same space without the need for traveling. So it improves the efficacy, upgrades the working in the group. It reduces the travel costs, reduces the absenteeism. So it is a good tool or excellent tool for communication and collaboration. Cloud computing is also useful in the delivery of the computer system resources over the internet, such as server, storage, database, networking, intelligence, etc. In present time, the social isolation and amid COVID-19 outbreak, people have been able to continue their digital lives with the help of applications like Zoom, Slack, Netflix. They are because of the cloud computing. Autonomous robots are also important. It is used to carry out the task without the control of external agency. It can be useful for very long period. So its application includes an autonomous police robot for patrolling the areas to confirm that the people are following the orders of the lockdown or not. In the hospital, in order to help the medical staff to perform their duties without any disruption. Also, the 3D scanning and the 3D printing is playing the role of scanning the human body and its parts as a precise dimension. 3D scanners, they are useful for developing the video games and movies also. Virtual reality, motion capture, robotic mapping, and the industrial design, it is using the 3D scanning technology. 3D printing, so for redesigning purpose, we can use the 3D printing. So in case of this COVID-19 situation, already there are some ventilators available, but now the industries, small scale industries, they are also started the production of the ventilators. So for that they are using the 3D printing with the redesign of the ventilators as per the requirement. The use of surgical mask and N95 respirator is not suitable for the environment, but it can be proved to be detrimental to the ecosystem also. So it is required to redesign it. So newly developed NanoHack 3D printed mask is recyclable and can be possible because of this 3D printing. Also, the biosensors. As you know, this COVID 19 is a biological war. So, biosensors are a optical and thermal piezoelectrical, electrochemical biosensors. So, applications in the medical science, food industry, marine sector, and they are stable and sensitive. So, in the biological war, biosensors are more important. Glucose monitor is required in case of clinical analysis and also for diagnostic purpose. So early detection and then monitoring of the symptoms of COVID-19, biosensors can be used. Real-time recording of the temperature, ECG tracing, respiration rate, etc. can also be performed using the biosensor. So thus, I have given some insight onto Industry 4.0 technology, which is playing a great role into COVID-19 pandemic. So to summarize, there are various challenges in the education system after COVID-19 we have to cope up with. And this online learning, online teaching learning process has to be followed in the education system. And this education 4.0 is giving rise to industry 4.0 technologies to understand. It is useful to design the applications using the Industry 4.0 technologies in the case of this COVID-19 pandemic. Lastly, I would like to thank you, the organizing committee members, for giving me a chance to be part of this conference. Thank you.